Hey there ninjas, Martin here, and in this video we're going to go through exactly what an expired domain is, how you can use them, and I'll even share tips on how you can find a really good expired domain. Now these are tips that I personally do myself when I'm looking for a domain myself, or tips from affiliates that I've worked with over the years that have created six-figure websites using expired domains. So the first thing that I want to get through is what exactly is an expired domain. Now it's simply that, it is a domain name that somebody has registered and they have just allowed it to expire. The difference is that these expired domains are typically from people that have created websites over many years and built up a good amount of trust and authority and already built backlinks to those domain names. So therefore they already have some authority. Now the reason why people purchase expired domains is because of that authority. It helps to speed up the process of getting a website indexed, ranked, and performing really well. If you were to just go out and register a fresh brand new domain name, there is no history to that domain, there's no backlinks, there's no trust, there's no authority, and it's going to take time for the search engines to start building trust in that domain and actually start seeing the authority that you provide. And typically that takes anywhere from 4 to 8 months, sometimes even a bit longer. With an expired domain, because it already has that backlink history, it's got that authority already, you don't tend to have to wait that long. You tend to be able to upload your content and it can rank a lot quicker. Now when it comes to expired domains, there are typically 3 ways in which we can use them. The first way is by using them to create a PBN network. Now I'm not going to cover that in this video because I don't know too much about PBNs. Used a few in the past, but I've never actually created one, so I don't really want to share information that I don't actually know much about. The second one is doing a 301 redirect, and this is basically getting the expired domain and redirecting all of those backlinks through to an existing website. And I've done that a few times in the past and it does tend to work quite well. The third option is by actually creating a new website on that expired domain, taking advantage of all of the authority and all of those backlinks to help speed up the chance of it getting ranked. Now when it comes to actually finding expired domains, I personally use a service called SERP Names, and I'll put a link in the description, and if you do use the code AMNinjas, it will give you a discount. For the next 2 weeks, I believe they're going to give 25% off on all expired domains. So a really good deal. Now, the reason why I personally like SERP Names is that they have a really good inventory of domain names spread across a wide variety of niches. One of the things that I love about SERP Names is that the previous sites are actually still live, which means that technically that domain name has not necessarily expired, helping to keep all of those backlinks active. What I also like about SERP Names is that they do also provide you with logos, branding ideas, and even have a developer on hand to help you if you do need any development advice. I'm actually using SERP Names at the moment for a case study site that I'm working on in the gaming niche. So if you are interested in following that case study, don't forget to subscribe and you'll get notified when I next upload a video on it. Now it's not just about getting an expired domain, putting content on, uploading it and making it rank and raining cash. That's just not gonna happen. And the thing with expired domains is that sometimes they just don't work. A lot of the times they can, but sometimes they don't. And what you need to do is you need to vet any expired domains that you're going to be purchasing to increase the chance of them being successful. Now there's certain things that I always check when I'm looking at a domain name. So what we'll do is we'll go to the laptop, I'll go through a couple of expired domains and show you exactly what I do check. So here we are in the SERP Names dashboard. I've just signed into my account and straight away we can see all of the domain names that are available. It has a logo, it tells you the URL, you can see the niche and the price, and then you can obviously click in to see more details. And they've got a really good way you can search your niche, so if you've got a bit of an idea as to what niche you're interested in, you can search for expired domains. You can also search for newest, name and price, high to low as well, and also increase the amount of domains that you're looking for. Now, the first thing I'd recommend when looking for an expired domain is not necessarily restricting yourself to a specific niche. It's really important that whatever expired domain that you use, it is niche relevant to the content that you're putting on that site. For example, this domain name is all about smartwatches. Now, if I was to get this domain name and then put content on it about cycling, then it's not going to do very well at all, because all of the backlinks going to hotsmartwatch.com are all going to be relevant to watches and not cycling. So it's really important that whatever domain name you pick, it is going to be relevant to the niche that you're getting into. Now, when I started looking into the niche for the case study site, I wasn't originally going to go into gaming. I was going to go into something else, but the domain name looked good, so I changed the direction of the niche that I was going for. So you do need to kind of be a little bit flexible in terms of the niche that you're interested in, because let's face it, not all niches you're going to find an expired domain name easily. The next tip is to obviously just go through each of the domains and just see which ones kind of appeal to you. Now you can see that I've favorited some of these, so you can favorite them, so you can keep them to one side up here, so you can come back to them later, which I think is a really good feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at a couple of these. So let's have a look at Beehive Buzz, which is a coffee niche. So we'll look into the details and we can see the price here. We can see a little bit of a description. It shows you the domain name rating, referring domains, domain age, and obviously gives you an idea on the topics. Now, it's really good that it gives us information, but I wouldn't use this as written in stone. I would definitely just validate this. So what I would always do is get the domain name. I'll go to Site Explorer and Ahrefs. I will just have a look at that myself. Now, obviously, it does vary. You know, these could be slightly different depending on what tool certain names uses. This one obviously said domain rating of 8. It is a domain rating of 9, which is good. We can see the backlinks here and what traffic it's currently getting. So it is actually getting some traffic. Now, if we look at the website, we can see the website here. So certain names always restore the previous site, which I think is really good, as it helps to keep all of the backlinks live. So that is just definitely a good option. So we can see the site, we can see the content that was there. So this is for a coffee shop. What we can then do is just take a look into the actual backlinks themselves and look at the referring domains. Just so we can see what kind of backlinks they are. So we can see, let's go into the actual backlinks itself. So we can see that these are very much citations and locals. So this is obviously a local guide site, DR72, which is good. It's getting traffic to this individual page. It's getting a lot of traffic. So that to me is a really good backlink. It's got a good DR, it's got referring domains to this, it's got linked domains, it's got page traffic, it's ranking for 120 keywords, so that is a really good backlink in my eyes. Then the Yellow Page is a citation. We've got one in a magazine in Pittsburgh, so we've got a DR72, we've got referring domains, there's traffic again. So this is a good sign. It's shown that there is actually good traffic going to these. Again, here we've got Lonely Planet DR90, referring domains 1. It's getting a little bit of traffic. So again, a good, good domain there. There's some really good backlinks. So that's the first thing I'll check. It does look like it has some decent backlinks. The next thing I'll check is the previous traffic. So we'll go back to overview, we will go to organic search and just see the kind of traffic that it had historically. So we can see that it's never had a huge amount. We've never got past 1,000 uniques. It's always been around about 98, 100, but that wouldn't put me off necessarily, because this is a domain name for a local coffee shop, so they're not necessarily going to be doing keyword research, they're not going to be doing blog content. Their goal was not necessarily to rank for best espresso machine or anything like that, so that doesn't put me off. That to me just is fine. So the fact that there's been no sudden drops, this is probably when the domain name expired and was re-established, but there's not been any major drops because of any Google updates or anything like that. So to me that looks like a very solid domain name. And we'll have a quick look at, here you go, WorldStart Health. That might be a good one. The health is a very competitive niche. So domain rating 16, referring domain 7. Let's have a look at the website. So yeah, we've got a website up there, a bit of content. That's fine. Oops, let's go here. So we've got a DR of 16. We have quite a decent amount of backlinks. Just getting decent traffic, to be fair, for the amount of keywords it's there for. It's been fairly steady. It's, you know, this domain's not going to be competing with some of the, you know, the big authority sites by any stretch of the imagination. This to me is it's a starter domain, but the thing is this domain is probably going to save you about 12 months worth of work, because to get to this stage, to get ranked, to get some DR in a competitive niche like this is going to take some time. This is going to save you probably around about 12 months. So a really good start. And DR16 is not bad when you're targeting, you know, low competitive keywords and whatnot. So if we look at the backlinks, we can see some backlinks from an environmental working group to do with medical officer, so that's interesting. DR88, decent traffic, no follow, but still decent traffic. We have one from prevention.com under fitness, which is a DR84, so really high DR. Decent traffic, and that is a follow link, so that is really good. We have, what do we have going on here? So we've got some images. That's probably where a lot of the traffic that's existing there is potentially from image search. Greenwich time in the news 74. Traffic again, referring domains. Do follow link. This is a really good article as well. It's to do obviously weight loss, which is, you know, perfect for the actual niche itself. So this, to be fair, is a really good domain name. This is one that I would potentially go for as well, purely because it's got some good initial backlinks. It's going to save you about 12 months. It could even save you more time than that in the long run. So yeah, really good domain name. So that's typically what I check. I will always check the website itself to see if there is a website live in the content, just to see what I may need to use and what I may not want to use. I'll also check the backlink history, just to look at those backlinks, just to see where they're coming from, to make sure that they're not coming from any poor quality sources. I would then also check the actual traffic. What I'm looking for really is that there's not some sudden growth and then a sudden drop off when there has been a typical Google update, so that it's not actually being penalized, and that's why the domain name expired, because they gave up and they couldn't recover the site. So the key is just checking this organic traffic and just checking the drops and making sure there aren't any significant drops around Google updates, more so the more recent Google updates. Just like I say, to make sure that there's no penalization, because that's going to end up taking you a bit of time to recover from. Luckily, the sites that I've looked at, they don't seem to have any effects on that. And I know that the guys at Cert Names do actually review all of the domains. They do a lot of work in making sure that the domains are really good quality. Exactly what I do when I'm looking for an expired domain. I really hope that this video has helped, and don't forget, if you are looking for an expired domain, check out the link below to SERP Names, use the discount code AMNinjas for 25% off, and any questions, feel free to comment below. Till then, bye for now.